Have you heard about the frightening predictions of an Indian astrologer named Kushal Kumar? He has made predictions that are catching the attention of many people around the world. He recently spoke about the possibility of a third world war. According to him, the most likely date for this to begin is June 18, 2024, but he warns that other dates in June are also dangerous. Kumar believes that the war could be triggered by several international tensions that are already taking place. He mentions conflicts between India and Pakistan, North Korea's provocations against South Korea, and the increase in tensions between Israel and Lebanon. In addition, it talks about the missile crisis in Cuba and China's military exercises near Taiwan. But why are Kumar's predictions receiving so much attention? It uses something called Vedic astrology, which has deep roots in Hindu culture. This astrology analyzes the alignment of planets and stars to predict future events. Kumar has been correct in predictions before, such as tensions between South Korea and North Korea and conflicts in the Middle East. Now, some people are comparing Kumar to Nostradamus, the famous 16th century French seer. Nostradamus also predicted catastrophic events in his visions for 2024, including natural disasters and pandemics. He warned of a terrible famine and great floods that would devastate the earth. Let's talk about another prophet, Ravi Batra, an Indian economist who predicted the fall of the Soviet Union and the financial crisis of 2008. In 1978, he released a book that predicted the collapse of communism in the Soviet Union and the disintegration of monopoly capitalism in the United States. United. At the time, no one believed him, but his predictions ended up coming true. The Soviet Union truly disintegrated, and the 2008 financial crisis shook the world. Ravi Batra also warned of other economic crises. He predicted the revolution in Iran in 1979 and the war between Iran and Iraq, which lasted 8 years. He also talked about the stock market collapse in Japan in 1990, something that actually happened and brought economic difficulties to many countries, including South Korea. Attention, attention. Want more amazing content like this? So don't be left out. Sign up on the channel right now and be part of our community of amazing people. Oh, and that one like it also makes all the difference. We are counting on you. Batra believes society needs reforms to avoid disasters. He says that if we don't care for the poor and correct corruption, nature will intervene in ways we don't expect. He also predicts that after a major crisis, capitalism could be replaced by new social forces, with Asia and countries like South Korea leading an economic and cultural revival. Another fascinating seer is Nicholas van Rensburg from South Africa. He lived in the early 20th century and made predictions that many people believe came true. Rensburg spoke about the First World War and other important events, such as the Chernobyl nuclear accident and the election of Nelson Mandela in South Africa. Rensburg also predicted a possible World War III, mentioning that Russia would invade Europe but would ultimately be defeated by an alliance of countries including Germany and South Korea. He believed that South Korea would emerge as a world leader after the conflict. Now, going back to modern times, you may remember the COVID-19 pandemic that began in China in 2019. It impacted the entire world and changed our lives in ways we never imagined. But did you know that a Norwegian seer named Erik Jeepert predicted something like this over 100 years ago? Jeepert wrote that a pneumonia-like disease would emerge in Asia, spreading rapidly across the world and challenging all of humanity. He even predicted that, years later, this disease could return, even stronger. His predictions went viral during the pandemic, and many people were surprised by his accuracy. Jeepert made predictions about natural catastrophes, such as earthquakes and social changes. He believed that corruption and greed would bring society to a breaking point, but that ultimately a new kind of world order would emerge, led by different values and ideals, possibly coming from the East. These stories of prophecies and predictions may seem incredible, but they also serve as a warning about how the world can change quickly and in unexpected ways. The question is, what can we learn from these predictions? Are we prepared to face global challenges and create a better future? And you, what do you think of these predictions? Do you think we really could see a major global conflict, or that new forces will emerge on the world stage? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear what you think. Remember, no matter what the future holds, history shows that humanity has an incredible ability to adapt and overcome challenges. And perhaps, by considering these predictions, we can take steps to build a more just and peaceful world for all. Like Nostradamus, perhaps the most famous prophet in history. He lived in France in the 16th century and is known for his mysterious and poetic prophecies. Nostradamus wrote about future events in a book called Prophecies. He used such cryptic language that, to this day, his predictions are interpreted in different ways. One of the recurring themes in his prophecies is the idea of great natural catastrophes, devastating wars, and an eventual spiritual renewal of humanity. He believed that after periods of great suffering, humanity could find a new path to peace and prosperity. As scary as some of his predictions may be, they also offer a glimmer of hope. Global crises, like pandemics and wars, have a way of forcing us to rethink our priorities. They remind us that we are all connected and that the actions of one country can affect the entire world. The COVID-19 pandemic, for example, has shown how interconnected our society really is. Psychics like Ravi Batra and Kushal Kumar have warned us about the consequences of ignoring the warning signs that nature and society give us. His predictions highlight the importance of solving problems such as social inequality, corruption, and lack of care for the environment. An interesting vision that many prophets have shared is the idea that Asia, including countries like South Korea, can play a crucial role in the future of the world. As the West faces economic and social challenges, Asian culture and philosophy offer a unique perspective on how to live in balance with nature and others. South Korea, in particular, has shown incredible progress in terms of technology, education, and culture. With its innovations in K-pop, cinema, and technology, the country is quickly becoming a global leader in several areas. Perhaps predictions about Asia's rise are actually coming to fruition before our eyes. It is important to remember that predictions are not certainties. They are assumptions based on past and present observations. But they offer us an opportunity to reflect on our actions and consider how we can shape a better future. When we hear stories about prophets like Nostradamus, Ravi Batra, or Nicholas van Rensburg, we should think about what these stories teach us about resilience and adaptation. Humanity has faced challenges before, and we will continue to face them. What matters is how we choose to respond to these challenges. As we get closer to dates mentioned in predictions, like June 2024, it's natural to feel a mix of curiosity and apprehension. But regardless of what the future holds, we have the power to make choices that promote peace and well-being for all. The question we must ask ourselves is, how can we learn from the past and use that knowledge to create a better future? We can start by focusing on collaborative solutions, promoting empathy and understanding between nations, and caring for our planet with respect and responsibility. At the end of the day, the future is not something that just happens to us. It is something we help create through our daily actions and choices. If each of us does our part to promote justice, peace, and solidarity, we can overcome any challenge that comes our way. Thank you for following along with this exploration of predictions and prophecies. Remember that the future is in our hands, and together we can work to make it bright and promising. Keep following us for more fascinating and inspiring stories. And now we want to hear from you. What do you think of these predictions? Do you believe we can shape the future in a positive way? Leave your comments below. Your opinion is important to us. To the next. One thing many predictions have in common is an emphasis on collective action. They remind us that despite difficulties, we are stronger when we work together. Whether facing pandemics, natural disasters, or economic crises, global cooperation is essential to overcome the challenges we face. Imagine a world where all countries come together to fight poverty, improve education, and protect the environment. This vision may seem distant, but it is not impossible. We have already seen examples of how international collaboration can bring about positive change. Fighting climate change and creating vaccines for diseases are just some of the ways we can see the power of collective action in action. Another important trend we can observe is the growing role of technology in shaping our future. Technological innovations have the potential to transform every aspect of our lives, from the way we work and communicate to how we treat illness and care for the planet. However, technology also brings challenges. Issues such as privacy, data security, and the impact of technological advances on the job market are legitimate concerns. We need to ensure that technology is used for the common good, ethically and responsibly. South Korea is a shining example of how technology can drive progress. With its advances in artificial intelligence, robotics, and telecommunications, the country is at the forefront of technological innovation. Other countries can learn from South Korea's example and invest in education and research to promote a positive technological future. Forecasts also alert us to the growing influence of emerging cultures. For too long, the world has been dominated by Western narratives, but now we are seeing a shift to a more global and diverse perspective. Cultures from Asia, Africa, and Latin America are rising to prominence, offering new ideas and approaches to solving the world's challenges. This cultural diversity is not only enriching, it is also essential for innovation. When we combine different ways of thinking and experiences, we are able to create more creative and effective solutions. Therefore, it is crucial to value and celebrate diversity in all its forms. In addition to technological and cultural changes, many prophets speak of a spiritual awakening that can guide humanity towards a path of peace and harmony. This awakening is a call to reflect on our values and priorities, and ask ourselves how we can live in harmony with the natural world and with each other. Spirituality does not need to be understood in a religious way, but as a deeper connection with ourselves and the world around us. It's about finding purpose and meaning in our lives that transcends materialism and social divisions. Looking at the past helps us better understand the present and plan for the future. The stories of the prophets and their predictions are powerful reminders that while we cannot predict everything, we can learn from past patterns and make more informed decisions. For example, the history of the economic collapse in the Soviet Union and the 2008 financial crisis teach us about the importance of financial responsibility and ethical governance. We have learned that greed and corruption have devastating consequences and that we need systems that prioritize the well-being of all, not just a few. The central message we can take from these stories and predictions is one of hope. No matter how challenging the future may seem, there is always the opportunity to do things differently and better. We have the ability to create a world where justice, peace, and prosperity are accessible to all. Imagine a future where technology is used to end hunger, where the world's cultures come together to solve global problems, and where spirituality guides us onto a path of compassion and empathy. This is a future worth fighting for, and it starts with the choices we make today.